Hello. In this video, we're going to talk about a book called Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus by John Gray. It's a book that people talk about a lot because it explains the differences between men and women in relationships. It's a popular book that's been read by a lot of people around the world. I'll talk about some of the main ideas in the book and how we can use them in our own lives. Introduction. Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus is a book that helps people to understand the differences between men and women, especially in relationships. It explains that men and women have different emotional needs, communication styles, and ways of approaching relationships because they come from different planets. The book gives practical advice on how to improve communication and intimacy between men and women. It has sold over 50 million copies worldwide and has been translated into over 40 languages. Some people like it for its insights into relationships, while others criticize it for promoting gender stereotypes. The book has 13 chapters and follows. Chapter 1: Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. This chapter introduces the main idea of the book, which is that men and women are very different when it comes to their emotions, communication, and behavior. John Gray, the author, says that men and women are different because of biology and how they evolved. It's not just because of culture or how they were brought up. He thinks that men like to work towards their goals and fix things, while women like to make connections with people and have strong feelings. When men feel upset or have too much going on, they might want to be alone for a while. Women usually want to talk to other people and get help. In this chapter, author uses examples and stories to show how men and women are different. For example, men often communicate to give information, while women communicate to share their feelings. These differences can cause problems in relationships, but if we understand and accept them, we can improve our communication and closeness. The chapter ends by saying that we should respect and appreciate each other's differences, and not try to change them. If we do this, we can have happier relationships. Chapter 2: Mr. Fix-It and the Home Improvement Committee. In this chapter, author talks about how men are often seen as problem solvers and women as caregivers. The author uses the term, home improvement committee, to describe how women often talk to other women about their problems and feelings, while men tend to work things out on their own. Men often try to solve problems when women share their feelings, but women just want to be heard and understood. The chapter gives advice on how men can listen without trying to fix everything and how women can express their needs better without blaming their partners. The author says that it's important to respect each other's need for support and space and not to take their differences personally. By doing this, couples can communicate better and have a stronger relationship. Chapter 3: Men Go to Their Caves and Women Talk. In this chapter, the author talks about how men tend to go to their caves to be alone and solve problems, while women seek support by talking with others. Men's caves can be physical or mental spaces where they withdraw from social interaction. Women talk to process their emotions and find solutions. The chapter gives advice on how men and women can understand and respect each other's communication styles. Women can respect men's need for alone time, and men can communicate their need for alone time effectively. Chapter 4: How to Motivate the Opposite Sex. This chapter talks about how men and women are motivated differently and gives practical advice on how to motivate one's partner in a relationship. Men are often motivated by achieving goals and being recognized for their accomplishments, while women are motivated by feeling appreciated, valued, and loved. Understanding these differences is crucial for improving communication and strengthening the relationship. To motivate their partners, men can show appreciation, be affectionate, and express love and support, while women can acknowledge their partner's accomplishments, recognize their efforts, and show admiration and respect. Criticizing or blaming should be avoided, and instead, positive reinforcement and support should be used to build a strong, fulfilling relationship based on mutual respect and appreciation. Chapter 5: Speaking Different Languages. This chapter is about how men and women use different styles of language that can cause misunderstandings in relationships. Men tend to use direct language focused on solving problems, while women tend to use more indirect language focused on building connections. It's important to understand these differences to improve communication. The chapter gives advice on how to speak each other's language, such as using empathy and clear expression. Active listening and being present in the moment are also important to avoid misunderstandings and build stronger relationships. Chapter 6: Men are like rubber bands. In this chapter, the author compares men to rubber bands to explain how they tend to pull away from their partners and then come back to them. This is a natural process for men, where they focus on their goals and become more distant, before returning to their partners in a more affectionate and attentive way. The author suggests that women can support their partners during the pulling away phase by giving them space and avoiding pressure to talk or share their feelings. Women can focus on their own needs and maintain a positive and loving attitude towards their partners. The chapter emphasizes the importance of open communication and trust in relationships. By understanding and accepting the natural cycle of pulling away and returning, couples can build stronger relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. Chapter 7: Women are like waves. In this chapter, the author compares a woman's emotional cycle to the rising and falling of ocean waves. The cycle is natural and involves women feeling different emotions at different times. Women may feel happy and confident at some times, and sad and vulnerable at other times. This is normal and helps women maintain balance in their lives. The chapter gives practical advice to men on how to support their partners during the low points of the emotional cycle. Men can offer their partners emotional support and understanding, while also giving them space and time to process their emotions. The chapter also emphasizes the importance of communication and empathy in relationships. By understanding and accepting the natural emotional cycle of women, men can build stronger and more fulfilling relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. Chapter 8: Discovering our different emotional needs. In this chapter, the author talks about how men and women have different emotional needs in relationships, and understanding and meeting these needs is important to build strong and fulfilling relationships. Men need respect, while women need love and affection. Both needs are equally important but are expressed and fulfilled in different ways. The chapter provides practical advice on how to meet each other's emotional needs, such as spending quality time and being attentive for love and affection and being supportive and valuing opinions for respect. Communication and empathy are also essential to meet each other's emotional needs. Understanding and accepting each other's different emotional needs can help build stronger, fulfilling relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. Chapter 9: How to avoid arguments. In this chapter, the author gives tips on how to communicate well and prevent fights in relationships. The author explains that misunderstandings and different ways of communication between men and women can cause fights. Therefore, it is important to understand and respect each other's communication styles to communicate well. The chapter provides useful advice on how to communicate well and prevent arguments. For example, it suggests listening to each other without interrupting or criticizing, expressing emotions and needs clearly and respectfully. The chapter also emphasizes taking responsibility for one's own emotions and actions to avoid arguments. Instead of blaming their partners, individuals should own their own feelings and reactions. Additionally, the chapter gives practical advice on resolving conflicts and disagreements in a healthy and positive way. Couples should take a break to calm down and think before discussing the issue, and work together to find a solution that benefits both parties. Chapter 10: Scoring points with the opposite sex. In this chapter, the author gives tips on how to improve relationships by understanding and meeting each other's emotional needs. The author explains that men and women express love and affection differently, and suggests that men can make their partners feel loved by spending quality time with them, complimenting them, and helping them with tasks. The chapter also advises women to show respect for their partners by supporting their goals, valuing their opinions, and appreciating their efforts. Chapter 11: How to communicate difficult feelings. In this chapter, the author gives advice on how to talk to one's partner about difficult emotions and feelings in a constructive way. The author emphasizes the importance of being honest and direct when discussing these feelings and avoiding blaming or criticizing one's partner. The chapter provides practical tips on how to express difficult emotions in a productive manner, such as taking time to reflect on the situation and using I statements. The chapter also highlights the importance of listening and validating one's partner's feelings to build a stronger, more understanding relationship. Chapter 12: How to ask for support and get it. This chapter discusses how men and women differ in how they ask for support, and how to communicate effectively with your partner. Women are more comfortable asking for help, while men often feel like they should be able to handle things on their own. The author suggests that men should learn to express their needs clearly and ask for help when they need it. Women can offer support and understanding when their partner asks for help. The chapter also provides practical tips for how to ask for support, such as being clear about what you need and expressing appreciation for your partner's help. It's important to return the favor by offering support when your partner needs it. Chapter 13: Men and Intimacy. This chapter talks about how men and women have different ways of approaching intimacy in a relationship. The author explains that men often feel closer to their partner through physical intimacy, while women may feel closer through emotional connection. The chapter explores common challenges that men face when it comes to intimacy, such as feeling judged or pressured, feeling like they need to be strong and independent, and feeling like they don't have enough time or energy. The author offers suggestions for how men can improve their intimacy skills, such as by being more open about their emotions, being more affectionate, and making intimacy a priority in their relationship. The chapter also discusses how women can support their partner's need for intimacy by being understanding and responsive, giving praise and gratitude, and clearly expressing their own needs and desires. The main point of the chapter is that it's important to respect and understand each other's differences in order to have a more satisfying and intimate relationship. Conclusion: Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus is a helpful book that explains the differences between men and women in relationships. It shows that men and women have different needs, ways of communicating, and approaches to solving problems, which can sometimes cause misunderstandings and conflicts. The author, John Gray, gives practical advice on how to improve communication and understanding between men and women. He talks about the differences in how men and women communicate and offers tips on how to overcome those differences to create stronger, happier relationships. Overall, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus is a useful guide for anyone who wants to improve their relationships with people of the opposite gender. By understanding and accepting the differences between men and women, people can build more meaningful connections and increase their happiness and satisfaction in life. Thank you. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe this video.